Hello. Hi. Hi there. My name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my channel and to tonight's YouTube, where we are going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. It is happily ever after, honey. It is season 6, episode 8. I'm so excited to see you. Yeah, I have been um only recently privy to the fact that you can watch not only 90 Day Fiance through the Discovery app, but also that you. So sorry, I'm wondering if I did something wrong in the as I do this. Also, you get it on Friday night. And there's no commercials. So I'm really just like turning that into a thing and just like realizing that that's what my life is. I don't have to like ever see a commercial again. And you know what? It's really great because it really turns a 2 hour show into not a 2 hour show that doesn't need to be a 2 hour show. And still, if there was like legit, it's the same. Oh, it is. Okay. I'm sorry, my babes. Just trying to like make sure that people know I'm here. Into like an hour 30-minute show and I'll take it. I just really don't need that. I don't need a lot of like the fluff, but just like a Dateline, if you get used to the way it's edited, you can really do some fine tuning, fast forwarding to get to the meat of what you need to see. Hi guys, nice to see you. I know that I went a little later, so I don't know who will be available to come into this live, but so if you're here, I love you. Please go ahead, like this video, give it a thumbs up because I need your help to like get people in this room and get the algorithm to like tickle me. So even if you have a Twitter account, feel free to like share the link of this with like a hashtag that says 90 Day Fiance or 90 Day Happily Ever After if you want to. That's just you. Just like ideas. I really like this episode. I found it really interesting and obviously, the parts that are going to be annoying to me are the fake couple parts that are prevalent this whole season. So, what can I do about Libby and Andre? Like, that's just never going to be really interesting for me to watch, and I really hate it. And I'm going to try to start watching it. Like, I'm really going to be like, okay, can I lean into just like hate watching it? But I don't like Libby's family enough to like that they are interesting enough for me to hate watch, because even like hate watching maybe feels like I want some sort of authenticity. Like, I'm going to be honest to this. It makes no sense in this world for Libby's sisters to be mad at her. And I will tell you why, because she gave them fame. Like, for instance, like they all have, as I've said, OnlyFan accounts. Like they wouldn't have OnlyFan accounts if they weren't pseudo famous because their sister Libby went on the show and like was dating this guy named Andre, who now we are just fast forwarding to like doing kettle like push-ups, one-armed kettle road to arm standing push-ups. That kind of shit's really interesting. Libby just comes out like in her robe, just like, here's a unmarked bottle of water. He's like, I needed water, Libby. What happened, Libby? You've been talking in your sleep, whatever. She's like, what? Okay. He doesn't know what she said. She doesn't know what she said. Probably about her evil sisters. I can't imagine all of them growing up. And I know we've met their mom. Something about their mom and all their relationships and who they are as now makes me feel like there's been some problems with their mom. That's my deep dive into the Libby family. I love people, but I have been accosted by the knowledge of the pictures of the OnlyFans accounts of Libby's family. Okay. Why do I keep looking? You say, if it annoys you so much, you keep talking about it, Chris, why do you keep looking? Okay, well, that's true. Because I don't pay for it and I am shocked. Always shocked by it. And I should stop looking. It's kind of like Jerry Springer. Charlie and his wife are hardcore OnlyFan people. Deep, close up inside. I mean, I don't, how am I going to say this to you? I mean, like, this is, okay. It's one thing to squat in a corner on dirty carpet and like try and show your butt in a way because you're like hiking that up. And meanwhile, you have a sickle foot, okay. I'll speak about that till I die. It's just quite another to be like, picture here, shot of your wife, where like in it, that's all it's, and then that's uploaded to just worldwide internet. And then we have to believe like this family business is supposed to mean something of like, like, and like we're supposed to be upset or, like Libby and her sisters and her whole family is supposed to be upset at her. Meanwhile, like the family business is now on Libby's shoulders for her fame. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So like none of it is real. None of that is real. But, I don't want to even talk about the dumb sister talk where they're like, well, I guess we should go because like we all owe dad, like dad, so it's like, okay. I want to know more about their mom. I'm going to move on because I don't like them as a couple. Have I said that enough? I'm so happy to see you guys here. Oh, my peeps. They all suck, but Andre is the biggest con artist. Really? Why? Why him? Can I be honest? I think he's the classiest one. He's the one that I would want to watch. Lisa, come on. We're always on the same page. See, yeah, no, no, honey, the con artist won the most, I think, is Charlie or Charlie's wife. One shoulder pink flamingo dress. Okay, that's a con artist, like maybe Becky, because Becky's face was something else. That's a con artist, like, I don't know if the con artist is the one like pushing a one-arm kettlebell, like, trying to fold laundry and like take care of like his daughter. And then like also like putting up with, I don't know. Because why? Because he entered the family, Lisa? Like, I'm trying to like think of what you could say. Why? Because he entered the family? I feel like the family, okay, if the family is a family of con artists, then he just joined. But he can't be the biggest one of all. Then at this point, by this reasoning, it would be Chuck, who literally is the biggest one of all. Horrible. I shouldn't have said that joke, but I'm sorry. Libby's mom had some crazy anti-LGBT. Yeah. I mean, just looking at them, I can only imagine a whole host of their beliefs. He doesn't even bail it. He has strong arms 100,000 out of a father-in-law. Well, okay, here's the thing. He didn't get it. So he didn't really get, he didn't really get it out, but he thought that he was going to get it. But however, if we believe Lisa that like this isn't all unscripted, whatever, God bless. And then at the same time, I want to know more about if Chuck truly thinks that Libby is like his favorite one, and if he truly is like, oh, maybe Andre's the one that could work. I mean, Charlie's a whatever. Maybe he looks at Andre as like, oh, he like is an immigrant from a different country. I know how these immigrants work because I'm like, white. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Andre's full of himself, but I kind of dig it. I think if you were on a good side, he'd be a cool friend to chill with. Yeah. I think you'd want Andre as your friend. And I think that if you could have a night where you like get him in good spirits and you're in good spirits and you share like a jovial laugh, like you'd have a friend for life in him. And I mean, I could not stand to be in a conversation in a room with any of Libby's family. And listen, could I stand to be in a physical conversation with Andre? Obviously I could. Okay. Obviously I could be in a physical conversation with him where our bodies talked. Body talk. Let me hear your body talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God bless. He's married. He has kids. That's not going to happen. I'm just saying of all of them, I could be in the let me hear your body talk physical conversation. Yes, Chuck is the ringmaster, but their Florida low-class con is no comparison to Andre being kicked out of Moldova. That's bad. Lisa, okay. What? Okay. Do you know more than me, which is that what? He was a police guy, and then he said that he like didn't take bribes, or he maybe like something he did take a bribe and they like were gonna catch him, and then like he got out of the police force. And then he like left Moldova for that. But he obviously can be in Moldova. He's like, and all his family's there. And like they showed his family on camera, and his brother and his brother's wife. So I just think like if he was really like on the Moldovan shit list, like I would not be showing them faces. It'd be blurred. They wouldn't be on TV. Where is my, okay, I mean, my love, T. Jones. That just requires a Google. Hi. Okay. Here we go to the next people. So I said I wasn't talking about them, and then you guys brought me into this. Mike and, actually I want to leave Mike and Italy later. Oh my God. Asuelu and Kalani. Okay. Asuelu and Kalani, honey, they're just going to a sex shop. They have like JoJo. I think JoJo, honey, works at the sex shop, and she's going to help them. I guess it's like a room, and then they bring them in. I love, I don't know what it is. I love sex shops. And I've been going to sex shops for a long time. Certain sex shops, good sex shops, not seedy sex shops, it's by good sex shops, because I'm, LA. I used to always go to the Hustler store, and then later on found Pleasure Chest. And I think Pleasure Chest is obviously it. And when I say good sex store, then I said Hustler. And you can say, well, that's not a good sex store. Okay. What I'm trying to say is like a place that wasn't dirty, like literally physically dirty, where I could like talk to people. Also, Hustler had a cafe next to adjacent to the sex shop. And when I was in college, I had a friend. This is something we would do. We would drive there, honey, and we would go get banana chocolate shakes at the little cafe, and then run around the sex shop, just like pointing out things and looking at things and being like, ha, this, hoo, that, whatever. Did I buy things? Yeah, I totally did buy things. I don't know what I bought, because they had like clothes and stuff like that there, and I was in college, so who knows. But Pleasure Chest is a great sex shop nowadays if you're ever in West Hollywood, and I believe they have other locations in San Francisco for sure. It's very sex positive, as Kalani likes to call herself. Kalani lost her virginity, we always forget, at 28. And she had saved it that whole time, then just went to Samoa and then just like gave it up to someone she met that there and then. Now, you could say maybe she felt like a kismet cultural thing. Then there's the Mormon part, like we don't really know, but she did, obviously. And that was obviously with Asuelu. And fast forward to now, 2 kids, very fertile. I think they're going to have a 3rd kid, by the way. And I think it's going to be a girl. Just putting that out there. In this episode, we have gotten to the part now where Asuelu is going to like prove his romantic gesture to Kalani. The sex shop is, of course, where they're going to get provisions. They get like a vibrating thing for her. Like maybe it moves around. They get like a vibrating like cock ring for him, and then they get like some sort of whip. And now remember this, okay, because she has to breastfeed, she has to bring her kids so they can drink, bring her mom, and the kids and the mom are a separate thing. She doesn't know where she's gonna go. She's getting in the car with everyone. She like asks her like, son, who's like picking his nose, where he thinks she's gonna go. He just like looks at her, God bless. Asuelu's driving, and they get to like a cabin-esque, wilderness-esque environment. And here's the thing. Asuelu booked what is called a cabin suite. And I am sure that if you looked on the website on cabin suite, I bet it looks great. I bet it looks super cozy. I bet that Asuelu was like, oh, this is good. This is great, whatever. Now for maybe someone who is a little more high maintenance, not everyone is, one might look at the couch and the bed linens and wonder about the quality of the bed and what you're going to be sleeping on and what the towels are like and what the smells are and how old the carpet is and when the last time the carpet's been steam cleaned and how many people have slept on the comforter. Like, then your mind goes to there. So I get both sides, but in this situation, they roll up and, Kalani is not into it. She's like, look, I get it, but like, this is a C-. Like, it's not it. And I feel bad because, I would rather have a resort, but a cabin is romantic. And I guess, part of a relationship, maybe, in this metaphor is not going into something with expectations that aren't flexible, without having an open-mindedness to like see the beauty of what your partner is providing in that moment, without having like expectations or planning thoughts. Having said that, I just wish I could have brought my own linens. That's what I would do. Like if I would like, I could do that cabin suite. Obviously, I'm not a crazy person. I would just prepare for it. I could have totally did my cabin suite. I would have been like, oh, cool. What's is that a queen size bed? Yeah. I'll also bring my own sheets. Maybe my own sheets, my own pillows, and my own towels. That's fine. That's fine for me. That's fine. Like that, I just want to I need to know it. You can smell that shack to the TV. It was, I don't know. I was raised Mormon in Canada, and the Mormon girls went to those kind of cabins for camp. Ha ha ha! That's what they kept saying, and they kept saying yeah, we went to obviously Mormon camp here in the cabins, and then we would just get around and play and make lanyards or what they said, candles, and I was just like, what else? What else do you do? Come on, there's some stories. I'm here for them. Why did she have to bring the kids to pump milk? Okay, when she was drinking this, this is okay. This is what I don't know everything. I've never, God bless, had a child or breastfed. So, but I've had friends. And so in this situation, I guess I'm like, oh, is it not that you can't just store up some milk for 2 days, freeze it, breast milk, you can freeze if you make enough. And then while you're there, you might have to pump and dump, which, yeah, it does suck. I don't know. Is that not available? But that's not always available. I'm not quite exactly sure. I just know that one of my friends did make a lot of milk or whatever. So she just made so much milk honey that she froze it and gave it to people who needed milk. God bless, So that's how much this woman made, So she definitely could just have some extra for the week, but I think they're going gone for the weekend. But, again, not my kids, not my breast. Psst. Lots of cheesy, nothing too interesting. Lots of cheesy arts and crafts. Fine, guys, take away all my life. All my excitement, my sex excitement stories. By the way, side note is yes. So at one point where they're getting the cabin, Asuelu is dressed like he is someone who's waiting outside of Supreme for a new drop. Why is he wearing that outfit? Like a black puffy vest, a backwards cap. Kalani pointed out, she's like, I don't know where we're going, when she doesn't before they got there, and I'm dressed like this, and Asuelo is dressed differently. And we went over to him, and he looks honey I don't know what to tell you, a version of New Kid on the Block, a modern day New Kid on the Block mixed with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a modern version, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm slurring my words. I made a yummy steak today and I had a little wine. And so I think that I'm just being a little not eloquent in my elocution. I feel bad for Asuelu because he shows them their cabin suite, honey. There's a bunch of flowers on the ground. He picks the flowers. He's look at the flowers. She's just give me the goddamn wine or whatever. And he's you really did not say thank you, and this is really romantic. And, I think that she does feel bad. And so later on, they have a staring contest. Just kidding. It's an exercise. But, I've done that so many times in acting classes where you just have to, make eye contact. It's so crazy. You can do it in many ways. One eye contact exercises of just do it, make someone, break, who can break first. But another one is just, feel something, look into each other's eyes, and there's a prompt. One time I did it, at a theater retreat in the past, 3 years or something. And I had, a really great experience. This woman was very vulnerable and made me feel like she was protecting her child in a situation. And I just watch this woman look in my eyes and be and I was just I could look away. So actually I can't do that. So it was more just anyway. So later on, Kalani's I feel bad about the whole, trying to meet a divorce attorney until basically my dad was you can't get a divorce. And then I was okay, despite what my sister thinks. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I will say this. Asuelu, we had a great Asuelu this episode. We had a very jovial, very like somewhat charming, like wanting to put on a little act, like wanting to put on a little show, singing, rapping. I mean, he just like he's becoming a little star, honey. Like I think he's like feeling his status. Like like Asuelu, if you like got Asuelu, like when he was at a bar, he probably enjoys his celebrity enough that if you were just really nice to him and buying him drinks, he'd probably like hang out with you all night and just like make up jokes. I'm happy to talk about sex. I like talking about sex. Oh, thanks, Brian. I think Asuelu is trying to make his segments more interesting by talking about sex to the front desk at the cabins. I mean, yeah. I mean, he knows, I think, that like they're really boring. Because besides Asuelu's like antics, and by the way, this whole situation, remember, like one of the first things that happened was like his antics when he first got to the airport of like his like dance, right? Like, so Asuelu has been putting on a show this whole time. We can't like deny it. And he also contends with like Kalani Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, honey, her voice is just so like, I would say C minus. She can be so Kardashian, like with them like long ass hairs and them big eyes, and by that, also, I mean, sort of boring, sort of monotone and boring. I mean, I don't know. So here we are. Angela. Okay, so Angela, this is interesting. 5 weeks in after her surgery, fast forward, she's lost 40 pounds. She's feeling herself, honey. She weighs herself. She looks good. She's gotten, obviously, a pedicure. And she's also like Zoom, Zoom grandmama to like all those kids. Honey, they all have laptops. They're all doing different things. They're all in a pile, like doing their work together, and I don't know if she's working as a nurse anymore. Probably not, because she's been like recovering or whatever. And she has a Zoom update. This is so interesting. So I thought about this. I guess she did stay in LA for a minute. It's such a big surgery just to have like a Zoom update, unless you're just doing fine, I guess. But she's not great, in the sense of, yes, she's lost all that weight, but truly, it'd be really hard not to, because she just got half her tummy taken out. She has hardly any hormones that are making her hungry. And she just got off a liquid to soft food puree diet, so of course she lost 40 pounds, a little bit. Now, having said that, I'm so happy she did. But why I bring this up is I want her to be taking better care of herself. She has to be working out. Now, here's the thing. She wants to say that she can't work out, and that's the kid's fault. And the surgery's fault. She doesn't have energy, and she has all those kids. Yes, she's still smoking. But don't worry, it's only 10 cigarettes a day. But that's not her fault. It's Michael's. And the doctor is upset. And she starts laughing, and the doctor's like, no, I'm upset at you. And she's like, hey, hey, ho. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, what am I going to say? Yes, it makes me upset. Yes, it makes me feel like it's a bad representation of like people who get this surgery or whatever. Yes, it makes me feel like I worry about her health, and I worry if she's going to like, transfer her addiction to something else, because the truth of the matter is the way that you truly handle the anxiety and the comfort eating, as well as getting your body to a good place, you can handle the weight loss and you can like sustain life, and you can also feel good about what you eat. The whole situation requires a lifestyle change that like has, as I've said, a spectrum and multifaceted, and I haven't seen any of that in Angela. You have to go to therapy. You have to go to absolute therapy. You absolutely have to go to therapy. You have to go to therapy. You absolutely have to go to therapy. You have to talk to someone about why you eat so much. Why? You have to go to therapy. You have to start instilling tools why you do that. And that means yoga, working out, groups, group talking, OA, mindfulness, or meditation training, breath training, tap situations. I mean, there are so many modalities. know that if you just do the exact same thing you've always been doing and not taking the personal responsibility of it, I have seen the surgery fail. Or people just not get the expected results. Or it start to have different versions or just, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that I'm like a crazy professional. I'm only 4 years out, so I'm not 10 years out, and so, but I just, this is like somewhat personal for me. She just says that she has no emotional support. And then Natasha, who's back, I was like, where was Natasha before in the Zoom call, is like, kind of calls her out, like, of wanting her to take proactive steps to like actually doing things in her life, because Natasha realizes she's done nothing except blame other people and not do what she was supposed to do, which is work out at all. And Natasha's like, 10 minutes, girl, 10 minutes. And Angel's like, nope, I'm too tired. And tell Natasha, now here's the thing, 10 minutes literally means walking around the block. It just means taking your favorite grandchild or the three and being like, let's go around the block. Let's put, like, that is it. 10 minutes a day truly means, while you're watching TV, lifting some arm weights and then doing a little stretching or yoga at night just to move your body. I mean, that's not all you should be doing, but I mean, like, she couldn't say that she had done that. Instead, she said that she hadn't been doing any of that and had been smoking. Not only had been smoking, Angela says 10 cigarettes a day, which we know means 2 packs. If you're telling a doctor on TV how much you're smoking when you're not supposed to be smoking at all, and you say 10 cigarettes, I want you to comment how many cigarettes Angela is actually smoking in this moment. Just like do your own math. A version of this math, I guess, is like the like how many people have you slept with math. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it can be different, in any situation of like whether you're dividing or multiplying or adding or subtracting, you do you. But I mean, a pack a day, 40 to 50 cigarettes a day. Yeah. Half a pack. Okay, well, I mean, honey, let's go to Vegas. Let's get these odds. So then Natasha is like, you should try. Besides, she says acupuncture or hypnotherapy. And Angela's like, okay, I'm making notes. And then she's like, edibles. And she's like, edible panties, like the crotchless panties. She's like, no, like marijuana edibles. Now, has Natasha met Angela? First of all, if Angela should be doing anything, it's smoking weed. And you're telling me, but we're not supposed to get her to smoke. I know. But my thought process is that if we got her a little less anxious, can we get her, okay, could we get her to smoke like from a water pipe, like a bong hit or a half a bong hit? So she doesn't have anxiety and that's her one smoking part of the day? Only because, I mean, I don't know. Because then she says edibles, and marijuana edibles is like, okay, but you also cannot like judicate how high you're going to get for someone who's never smoked. Or I guess Angela said she smoked when she was 16. But also edibles for someone who like can't really eat a lot because they have a tiny tummy. At this point, we're like, maybe you should just vape. I guess we should get Angela to vape. I'm not quite sure. But either way, I guess the truth of the matter is Angela's not a weed person. I don't feel like there's like weed. She's like, is there weed in Georgia? Is it legal? And they're like, we don't know. And I'm like, yeah, well, don't bring it up. The doctor's like, I don't even be on this phone call. I really don't. I have other things to do. So then Angela goes to a hypnotherapist, and the hypnotherapist is like, all right, Angela, go outside and smoke your last cigarette, honey. And she's just like, oh, my last cigarette. Go away, I want to have it in private. And just like, I felt so bad for her. I did smoke cigarettes in my 20s, and it was so funny because I can't tell you when I stopped smoking. It wasn't like I tried. I just was like, I just like stopped. Oh, maybe I'd gotten like a flu and I just like didn't smoke forever again. And then I knew that I was never going to smoke again because it's one thing to not smoke in California. And then there's, I guess, like trigger places. For instance, like Vegas would be like a trigger place I could easily not smoke for a year in California, and then if I like hit Vegas and hit a casino, like put a cigarette in my mouth. It's like in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? I think it's just a thing. I keep saying. I think also a trigger place is traveling. Truly, and Europe or stuff like that, like France. I've never been to the Far East, like China or Japan, but I know they smoke a lot of cigarettes there. And in France, they do. In Paris, they do, right? So once I went to those places and I still didn't want to smoke cigarettes, I was like, oh, I guess I'll never smoke again. It's just so weird. And but yeah, I don't know. Won't that increase her appetite? We're talking about marijuana. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Weed is just going to make her want to snack. Yeah, I mean, yes. However, what someone saying, there are strains that do not increase hunger. I don't really know exactly what strains, and I'm like, there's like either like indica or sativa. But I think indica is supposed to help with anxiety, which is what Natasha brought up. But I thought, I don't know. But if there's a specific like strain, like like good, like Girl Scout, not Girl Scout cookies, but like the name of a strain that's actually one that's not supposed to increase hunger, I'm assuming it's going to be a sativa. I don't know. You guys can tell me. Hi, Sean Christina. What's happening, my love? How are you? Happy Sunday. Sativa is no good for ADHD. Yeah, I think sativa is like the upper, and like I think that she needs the indica, but I don't know if there's so I guess my question is there an indica that is an appetite suppressant, or at least not one that is like a super appetite spiker? I mean, I'm not quite sure. I don't know, but I guess Natasha knows, my loves. Natasha knows. So when she goes under, it's so interesting. Her hip, and first of all, I don't know this. Is it just the one session? Is this guy saying that it's a 93% success rate for hypnotherapy for addiction to cigarettes? The guy that she ends up going to after she has her last cigarette for one session? Because the session is just her being like in there, and he like gets in her head and she's like relaxed. And he's just basically like, go back to the first time you had your first cigarette. And I was like, when's the first time I had my cigarette? I think it either happened. I think I either got a pack from a machine, because that's mostly how people before you could like not have, like you have to like, okay, obviously, I don't know how, this is how old I am. Maybe I'm saying. I remember getting my first cigarettes from a machine. They used to have machines, obviously, like in restaurants or in bars, right? And so in a crazy way, you obviously didn't have to show ID. You would just put the money in. I don't know if in later incarnations of the machine, if you had to insert an ID that would say how old you are. But they got rid of them, obviously. And yeah, I got either a pack. This is what I think either happened. I got a pack from like a Hard Rock cafe and smoked it in a parking lot of a mall, or was my first one in Oakdale, Louisiana, where I was hanging out with my cousins, Southern cousins, and I had an uncle that smoked Camel Reds, which are unfiltered Camels. And I tried to be cool and smoke one. I'm not quite sure. At that point, no, I didn't start smoking. But then when I went in college, I was a theater major and thought that I just needed to smoke, And then when I did a study abroad in France, like I've already said, like I had, and so once I went there, honey, it was smoking. The Royale Anises is what I used to smoke when I was in France. And then in college, I smoked disgusting things like Cherry Dreams or Parliaments that I would put menthol drops in. And then when I graduated college, everyone smoked American Spirits. That was the cool thing to smoke. But American Spirits lasted so long. And when I would secretly want that menthol back because I liked it so much and didn't want to spend so much money, I got really into Camel Crushes. This is my journey. Anyway, don't smoke. I think it's super gross. I can't even stand the smell now. It's just so interesting. I'm just like, life is interesting and I'm old. Yeah, at the end of this, she's just like, well, I'm just like, well, we're gonna see. Is that really gonna work? And it's not gonna work because she's just already like, I want to quit. I'm 10 out of 10, but Michael, Michael will make me want to smoke. And it's like, Michael didn't know you like the entire time you've been smoking. Like, you've been smoking for 40 years. Like, Michael wasn't always there. Like, if you smoke, it's you. Girl, it's you. If you don't work out, it's you. It is you. I mean, I don't know what you have to do. Take all your kids outside, make them run around. You run around with them and like put a timer on 10 minutes and just run around. Pick up the lightest one. Go like, hey, hey. Be like, I mean, pick up your grandchildren. Like I'm sorry, I can't talk. Andre picks up a one-armed kettlebell, honey. And just, I mean, she has options. Brandon and Julia. This is another fake situation. So it's like the Libby and Andre thing. I cannot talk about it. I'm holding Mike and Natalie hostage till the end. Oh my God, I forgot. Virginia Slim Menthol Ultralight was my 20s or Capri's. Oh my God, that is absolutely, you know what? This is how, yeah, no, I'm so sorry. The cigarette choice of my 20s after American Spirits was Capri Ultralight Slims. Capri Ultralight Menthols. They're already Slims. And I'd buy them. They're very expensive. Okay. And I loved them. Loved them, loved them. The skinny cigarettes. I loved them, loved them. I thought it was like so chic. And my cousin smoked them, not the Southern one. And I love them because if someone asked for them, like while we were outside smoking at a bar, specifically a dude, like he's like, you have a cigarette? I get to be like, yeah, do you want a Capri Ultralight Menthol? And I would watch his face in disgust. I'd be like, good. Now go ask someone who cares. I loved it. And when I didn't have money for that, it'd be the Campbell Crushes. Oh God, it's disgusting, So Brandon and Julia. So, we have to go to Ron's 70th birthday, which is like a broke down swinger party, honey, with like the most broke down like decorations. Why are they having this like in a church hall? Like, I mean, but like there's a fishbowl with a bunch of keys in it. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. I hate this. Okay. And we're supposed to believe that like, Brandon and Julia there, and they made obviously this big stink, but the fact that they don't want to have anyone talk about their wedding. It's like, we don't talk about their wedding. And I don't understand exactly why. Cause I'm like, is it that they're saying they want to throw you something and you have to give them money to celebrate more your wedding? You're not having to give them money. You're just there and they're just throwing a party and they just want to like talk about you guys. It's not a big deal. But they want to be like, well, it's our boundary. And it's like, okay, so this is the big thing that like now is going to break up the fact that they've been living together like two weird couples, honey. And they're like, we have to leave. And, Ron and Betty are so upset, because they brought the minister back. And this minister, Brian, who is Brian? Brian is he Dane Cook's nephew? Wannabe actor? This Brian, I don't remember him being this horrible from the wedding. What is Brian to you? Brian was like, Brian, I'm here. Yes, yeah, I married them. It was really great. Happy to be here back in the loving house of Betty and Ron. Yeah, so great night. Love this couple. And Brian, the minister, I mean, like, you were just like, Brian, honey. Is he a minister in the Universal Life Church? What ordination is he? I mean, Brian, come on. So anyway, they give them a broke down small cake and they get so mad at the cake, breaking up the fact that they got married. I don't even understand. It's also, to me, it's kind of like we're in a pandemic. You're not doing that much stuff anyway. What were you guys going to do tonight? Like that was so important that you couldn't just like have a cake in your honor at your dad's birthday. Again, unless they're making them pay for it or something under the guise that they need another celebration for the wedding, I just don't get it. At this point, I'm like, no, this is weird. But I also don't really care about this couple anymore. And Betty has really lost her charm because now I just feel like she's psychotic. So later on, Betty's so upset that like she doesn't understand a boundary and so upset that Brandon wants to move out, even though he's 28 and married. And Ron throws up this huge thing like, you're not going to ever survive. Do you know what paying rent's like? You never paid rent in your life. This is a huge parent thing that I see a lot and I want to talk about it. Some parents are like this. You've never done X. You've never done X in your life. So yeah, I haven't. So I have to do it, right? Yeah, no, okay. So I'm going to do that now, right? Because I got to do the thing. I got to learn how to do it. Is that what you're saying? That's so confusing to me. Yeah, Brandon has never paid rent. That's not a good thing. Brandon should learn to pay his living expenses and know what it's like to pay bills. Like, have something in a thing, have to pay every month because there's deadlines. Like, there's just certain responsibilities that come with that. It's great. And at the same point, now everything is so electric. Like, what are you doing? Just paying your Venmo to your landlord and then having everything up in your Wells Fargo bill pay? You should be, but that's just you. That's just me. That's just us. I want to look up here. The boundary is that Julia wants her celebration to be with her family. Also, the cake topper super passive aggressive in my mind. I mean, I get that. I guess Julia, I'm just in my mind. I'm like, yeah, Julia, and just like, it's not really a celebration. It's just like they're mentioning it. Like, and then you're having like a dessert in front of you that they bought at a Ralph's. I don't know. I love you guys. You're talking about other things too. I wish I was there for it. My food came. I lost a chunk of the convo. Can I make a sidebar? M21. Oh, you're talking about that's what happened. And then you get into OnlyFans. I love you guys. Okay, so put Julie on a pole and get a nice place. Move along, kids. Here's the thing. It's like, yeah, just they can move out. They can move out. If they are old enough to move out, let them move out. And yeah, they can move out. Like, Ron makes it seem like it's so impossible. Do you know what it's like? On your salary to like have to pay rent, you have to pay like $1,200. Like, okay, so you're saying he's gonna have to either ask for a promotion or get another job or get a better job, or she's gonna have to get a job? Yes. If those are the things, yes. Yes, then those things are gonna have to happen. Yes. But why not? Because that's how growth happens. It's not better for him to like be in the confines and safety of your farm and then never ask for a promotion or like move up in his career because he doesn't want to, doesn't want anything different. I mean, it's backwards thinking. I mean, it's really crippling in this way. So it's like I see both sides. So it's like, yeah, Brandon and Julia should move out, period, the end. And also like at the same time, it's like a cake, just eat the cake. I love you guys. Has he not saved any money? I mean, yeah, all of these are great points. Has he not saved any money living at home? Absolutely. Right. No, I mean, yeah. Ron gives me abuser vibes like a dad. He maybe hit Brandon because he got furious when Brandon was semi-standing for himself and the Brandon told him to hold on. Yeah. I think there was, there was weirdness. There's weirdness with, and Betty too, right? There's some darkness. And I definitely feel like Brandon gets to move out and he should be happy about it. And I think Betty being like, Brandon wouldn't do this if it wasn't for Julia. There must be a part of Julia's strength and her spirit that Brandon like grabbed a hold of and was like, oh my God, yes. Get me out. A little bit. You can tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. He gets his whole paycheck and protein powder, honey. And is he using the protein powder? I'm not quite sure. So, this rent talk's really crazy. And also Ron just thinks drunk. They're just like drunk on wine and just like ranting. Let's get to what we really want to talk about. The couple of the season for me. Do you understand how exciting it is for me? This was crazy. Mike and Natalie is who I'm talking about. I want to know if you're Team Mike or Team Natalie. Team Mike is Team Trish. And Team Natalie is Team Natalie and crazy banshee-haired Sideshow Bob mom. And there's also like a side Team Bo. I'm just kidding. But this is the crux of it to me. Natalie wants to get married to a man who can financially provide for her and their children, and any money that she would make would be gravy or frosting or sprinkles or whatever you want on top, or what she gives to her and her kids when she buys things for them. That's what she wants. In lieu of that, or not in lieu, that's what she wants. So what she wants to do is what she wants to do, which is what she wants to do and what she feels like she has a history doing and a resume for and what interests her, which is acting journalist work. Now, journalist in the American sense to us means like Katie Couric, you know. But to her mind, I also don't know if she means just like like hosting. Um I don't know Natalie's goals. I keep smacking. I don't know Natalie's goals. I don't really understand. Like, so what I'm trying to say is I don't know what she means by journalist. You know, does she mean like, no, are you like an anchor? Like an anchor, like that's what you want to do? Or like, when you say acting, that also means acting to me, because I act and so I understand what that word means. I think that if Natalie could perfect an English accent, I think that she could do a little more hosting or journalist work. If she doesn't, if she wants to act, she can act in roles that like she finds or she gets an agent for or she's right for. And that is hard to get an agent, and it's hard to find roles that pay in cities like not LA or New York or Vancouver or Atlanta. Those are kind of like maybe Chicago's there too. But I mean, you got to be in those like cities if you want to act somehow in America. Theater, film, television, those are the major parts. Now you can be a journalist and be an anchor in any major, whatever market. But I would think, and I don't mean to be like a Brandon about this, like being like you have to lose your, like no more English or whatever. But like I think that she'd have to lose her accent a little bit just to like she has a little bit more of like a European-esque mid-Atlantic accent because it is a little strong to be holding down, unless there's like a Russian or Ukrainian-esque, like network that needs a host. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that market is. Maybe there is. I don't really know what she needs or she wants. I don't think she knows career-wise, but she definitely doesn't want to be expected to bring in money. And in her mind, it's rude for them to ask. It's rude for Trish to ask. It's a boundary that Trish couldn't cross. Trish crossed a lot of boundaries in Natalie's mind that is rude. And Trish did not know when she was crossing them because A, culturally, B, Trish feels like her son is drowning and she needs to go in and save him. And C, Mike is definitely not helping the situation either way. Because if Mike and Natalie were like a strong force, I don't think that Trish could like give her opinion so much. But what's obviously happened is Trish has given her opinion to Mike so much, and Mike has agreed with it so much that now she's giving her opinion to Natalie, right? And Natalie doesn't want it. Doesn't understand why she feels free to give it. But that's like the breakdown. Besides the breakdown that they don't know, they're not on the same page. Let's talk about this. So Natalie's had it up to his hearsies, and she comes down in the morning and she won't even talk to Trish, which is fine. Trish is like trying to talk to Natalie, tries to like give her a scarf, tries to give her a ugly scarf, and she won't take it. And she's like, I talked to my mom about Thanksgiving and everything that happened, and she said not to talk to you. And I listened to my mom. But now, of course, what I wanted Natalie to say is just like Mike listens to you every word. No, but she didn't. God bless. The crux of this, of course, is that Natalie says that Trish called her a hooker, right? And that's some reason there's no filming of that, or there's not even, for some reason, we can't see that happen. And of course, Trish is like, that never happened. And Mike is like on Team Trish. That's what it is, right? So Natalie, but that's like the last thing that Natalie swallowed or didn't swallow after perceived injustices, like the fact that Trish kept talking about her wanting to be an interpreter and her having to bring money in, in some way, and not understanding her vegetarianism and just like not really caring about that and Thanksgiving and bringing her to a butchery and just like also, trying to cancel her wedding and then like hating every part of her in her guts, obviously, and then telling Mike about it. And then, I think that part of Natalie hating Trish, I think, is also the truly hating Mike. And I feel for Natalie because she says in this episode she took off her pink rose-colored glasses. I mean, if I was Natalie, I wouldn't. I mean, I think that I would have just been like, oh, I'm going to be honest, guys. And this is truly, I think, also the privilege of me being able to speak perfect English. You guys, here's the thing. We're very different. We're just not on the same page. And I get that now. I mean, you guys know disrespect. No, thank you. I don't want the scarf. I know people love the scarf. You're not for me, and I'm not for you. Well, have a great life. I don't want to talk further about it. Don't need to. I'm just going to process what I've just said, knowing that that's the truth, an authentic truth that I feel, and I'll never step back from it. In this car, it's going to stay here. Thanks for the coat. Cool? Good. I wouldn't say cool. I just like great. So I'm going to come back there. Now, if later on in life, Trisha was like, what airline? And for some reason, Mike, her grown-ass son, doesn't know what airline that he's about to get on. And she's like, what airline? I could easily just be like, American. Because I would have like, but Natalie wanted to be like, I can't talk to you, Trish. Instead of just being like, no, this isn't it. This isn't. It just feels, it was more combative. But I truly think that Natalie can't speak English very well. So she could, and she was trying to do her best because she was so upset and also just was trying to be like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't feel like there's anything necessary to say. Now, Trish learned 3 words. And Trish now says those 3 words, honey. It is consider the source. Consider the source, honey. Consider the source. Trish, consider the source. This is what I tweeted. Trish, consider the source. Scarves a lot, honey. She is making scarves. She gives the same scarf to her friends. They love them every year, the same ugly scarves. Can you imagine? Every year. At what point will you just be like, I'm just going to get Trish. I mean, I'm going to like get Trish a used Kleenex. I don't know what to do. I can't spend money on this person. I hate Mike. I truly am obviously on Team Natalie. I don't even like Natalie. I'm just in this situation. I'm definitely not Team Mike. He disgusts me in every way, and Trish isn't for me. It's just that they can do their own thing. I'm not disgusted by Trish. I'm disgusted by Mike. And I just think that Trish and me would be 2 different, very vastly different people, 2 different. Can't be in the same family. Specifically, can't be in a family where like I get to make my decisions about everything. If I'm married and stuff like that. I would have never gone to Thanksgiving at Trisha's house. Never. And the fact that, I mean, yeah, I would have just never done it. I would have done it if I was Natalie. If after knowing that, like, what happened and the whole situation and, like, she didn't want the wedding, when I already brought this up. When Mike was like, we're going to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, that was the moment Mike was like, and this is what I'm doing to break up with you, divorce you. Because obviously this is not going to end well. And if I was Natalie, I'd be like, oh, then you hate me. That's why? Okay, so this is what our final act for this television show is, because you obviously hate me, truly hate my guts if you're wanting to bring me to your mom's house knowing what I know about your mom. But okay, in a pandemic, cool. That is all right. Well, I guess I'll be an actor journalist now from here on out. I better start making my YouTube channel. I mean, is that what it is? You tell me. She gets in this car and Mike's like, she is so disrespectful. Disrespectful you be. He's like a weird Seuss poet about it. He just is talking to his mom, trying to make his mom feel better. His mom's like, I don't know what I did. Mike's like, I feel the same way, I just, I don't know. I can't believe they have to drive together after the scene to the airport. It's like Natalie should have been driven to an airport a billion years ago. Like she should have been driven to the airport so many seasons ago. How many times do we have to watch Natalie be in an awkward car ride? Uh, I just like I'm just in the airport. Natalie won't walk 10 feet. Doesn't want to be around them. Doesn't want to like be in the circle with them. Doesn't want to look at Mike. Doesn't want to smell either one of them. Honey, she's just like won't be anywhere near them, and they still don't get it. And they're kind of like, at this point, you would understand this person doesn't want to be near you. I mean, I don't understand why she didn't turn to Mike and be like, "Oh, I never want to talk to you again." By the way, yeah, that's why I don't care about you. No, you're horrible. I'm so done. Uh, let's not play. That's what she should have done, right? But she doesn't speak English very well, so she tried. She was just like, I'm gonna just zip this lip, and by lip I mean these huge ass lips. I'm gonna zip both these lips. I'm gonna get on this escalator, honey, and bye. And by bye I mean I'm not saying bye. Do you think that Natalie had a window seat? And what do you think that plane ride was like? Do you think they were sitting next to each other? Do you think Mike tried to like fall asleep and like his head like hit Natalie and she's like, oh, oh my God. Here we are. Both Natalie and Mike are wrong, but Natalie didn't have to be rude. Even if the mom called her hooker, Natalie should just brush it off and just be civil. Brush it off. I mean, I wouldn't have brushed it off. Why do it depends? Hooker. I think I would have given it back a little bit. Hooker. Honey, maybe one of Mike's old girlfriends, but the other thing of, and I will say this, the other thing about Trish is that she has the fallback of Natalie having issues with other people in Mike's life, right? Like, because Mike's friends hate Natalie. Except for Natalie's best friend and Mike's best friend that we don't get to like ever talk to. But Mike's friends, they hate Natalie. And she's like gone and fights with them. And so the fact this happened at Trisha's house, Trisha's like, well, consider the source. Consider the source. I mean, like Trish, my Lord. Trish cries when she hugs her son. I mean, those two really love each other. Mike. Yeah, I mean, there are expectations and there are wants and needs and desires in relationships. And I don't think that Natalie wanted to come. Natalie didn't, for some reason, understand Mike, right? And what Mike's life was. Because she got to Squim and there was like a pandemic and the 90 days was spent. It's like Natalie should have understood that there was going to be like certain red flags to things that she wouldn't want. Like when she gets to Squim, he's living in like a prefabricated home in the middle of nowhere. And he works like a crazy job. So it's obvious that like this person could provide a lot of love and support and warmth at night and kids. Maybe he can't provide you the lifestyle where you can be an actor, journalist in Seattle or a Squim. Because this person would have to get a job that could like bring in income. So Trish is trying to be realistic about this and be like, and that job is blink, blink, interpreter because you can't really speak a lot of English. Like that's what Trish is saying. And Natalie's saying, why as a woman are you expecting me to bring in money? And we'd be like, well, okay, so Natalie, did you not have a job when you were married the first time? Did you not bring in money? Did you think that all men were like that? Or all men had the financial security of that? Or did you have a job? So I'm not quite sure. I think that if that was something that was important to you and that you came to America and saw how Mike lived, you would realize that if that's something that is important to you, that maybe this wouldn't be it. Right? But she stayed. Even though he canceled the wedding. And then she realized at that point that he would listen to his mother, but she stayed. So as I say, I'm Team Natalie. She made many a mistake. But what I'm saying is, because I feel like they poked and prodded her, and once she was like, "I don't want to talk to you guys," the fact that they kind of kept pushing her is just like, "Yeah, no, you're weird. Just if this person does not want to talk to you, you can't make someone talk to you." And also, Mike, stop being like, "Natalie, what did she say? Just tell us what she said," because Natalie, who is your wife, already said to you what she thinks your mother said. She already said it to you yesterday. And she did it on camera, that part. So we know, Mike, that you know. So why didn't you settle it already? But instead, since you are so team mom in this, you and your mom go to Natalie, who's like in a foreign land on your family thing and being like, tell us, like it's just, and that's your husband. And you're like, it's not the look. Okay, none of it is truly. Trish is supposed to be an adult, honey. Well, she was also supposed to raise one, honey, and look at what a job she did. Whoo! Didn't Natalie show up after they broke up in her country? She is not a victim. Okay. Oh, Martine, love you, Chris, and enjoy listening to your point of view. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I really, really appreciate that super chat. Oh, thank you. First of all, thank you so much. And I really, really appreciate all my super chatters. I really, really appreciate it. I know you have to like set up your stuff to do YouTube super chats. I know that's annoying. I'm really thankful. Wa also like puts up her Venmo and her Cash App. And I was like, I'm going to have a Cash App. Or would people like, this is a side note, because I had this conversation with Wa. Would you comment if you would like to tip me in a different way than super chat? If you're like, oh, I wish Chris had Venmo, or I wish you had a Cash App. Because I do have a Venmo and I'd make a Cash App if people like want to do that. Anyway, tell me that. Also, I love you. Also, Martine, Joseph, you're the best. And also thumbs up this video. So yeah, with this Natalie Mike thing, it turned very cold, and it was probably a very cold airport home. And I just assumed that she got in her bags and she got Bo to drive her to the nearest leasing office in Seattle for like corporate housing or whatever she could get in, and that's why we see those like dark wooden cabinets for her cooking show, because that's where she is now. I mean, I can't wait for this tell-all. I'm really into the tell-all for Mike and Natalie. I also, like, if I said this before, I'm into the tell-all because I kind of also want to see what Tiffany and Ronald do. Oh, I didn't talk about Tiffany and Ronald. It's because I can't. Okay, I'll talk about Tiffany and Ronald. Because I try to keep Mike and Natalie for the end, and then I forgot that Tiffany and Ronald had a segment, which was like Tiffany talking to her mom. Another mom conversation where her mom's like, I hope you do the right thing finally, when it's like, she never did the right thing, and I'm not quite sure why, and it's probably your fault. But they talk about a Cuban Christmas, which that part sounds fun, which is just like Christmas time, and they drink and eat a bunch of yummy foods. I love this comment. I like how easy super chats are, but I'd rather gift you in whichever method maximizes you getting the most money out of it. Yeah, that's what Wa said. I don't know. I'm Chris Farah on YouTube. We can talk about this later. Sharika Johnson. Good morning, Chris. Good morning. Glad I caught your live. Love you. Thank you, my love. But good morning. We are not in different places, as it's Sunday at 11:06 p.m. where I am in sunny Southern California. I think from Trish's perspective, working as a translator pays well. Trish couldn't do it, and she probably can't get why Natalie passed on it. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Trish is a realist. Trish is a woman of the earth realist. That's who Trish is, honey. She is of the earth. Natalie, not so much. Natalie's like a little like, I want to be an actress and a vegetarian. I don't know what accent this is. It was very like Italian, almost borderline like Mario. And I'm sorry about that, but like just a different like, okay, all of Natalie's like, I'm higher than you. Like Natalie doesn't want to live the lifestyle that Mike lives. Period. The end. That's why I'm like, okay, that's what it is. Mike, when you are with someone, is there not like a period where you see how this person is living their life and you're like, do I like this lifestyle? Do I want to insert this lifestyle? Do I want to be in this lifestyle, or do I want this lifestyle to be how I live? And if the answer is no, then do not marry that person. Okay, so Natalie's delusional OnlyFans nominee, but I don't think she has an OnlyFans. Meanwhile, everyone related to Libby does. Libby's peepaw, I'm sure, is going to have an OnlyFans. Half Cuban, half Colombian, Tiffany. Yes. Yes. I think she just, when she was talking about Christmas, I don't remember her saying the Colombian part. Specifically, she talks about her Cuban Christmases, but that's the only reason why I brought that up. She said she's comes from a Latin household, but yeah. They drink beer. So, but yeah, I want to say, I also want to see what happens at the reunion, because I want to know if Kalani and Tiffany are friends, because they have such similar situations. And I want to know if they're friends or if they actually hate each other, because they can like see some of the same choices that like they both made and how they play it out. And if comparatively they think that they have the better situation, and if they're going to try and pass judgment on the other when both their situations are so similar, you know? Great. That's how I am. That's how I feel about this. This is how I am now. I mean, I feel like I've talked about everything I can talk about this episode. God, it is so nice to watch it for an hour and a half without any commercials. Are you guys still watching Extreme Sisters? Or did that fizzle out for you and your entertainment value from it? I have a lot in the agenda. I'm trying to catch up all of my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because Kathy Hilton has become such a fan fave. I wanted to see what was happening. And I started trying to like catch up a little bit of New York too. But Bravo is just so hard to watch sometimes. I really would rather watch Seeking Sister Wives sometime. I really want to like catch up on that. As well as my boring old regular Sister Wives, which I for some reason just love. All right, here we are. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to wash this makeup off my face. I'm going to start to wind down my mind. I really love you guys. I really love spending time with you, and I appreciate you guys. This has been a little bit smaller live, but you know what? That's fine. I think we did some deep diving. I hadn't talked about some other I don't know why I have to think about how I feel about Libby's mom and her relationship and the imprint it's had on not only all of her daughters and her son, but the relationships with each other and how they view themselves and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that all of that is dependent only on Libby's mom, like Chuck didn't have any part of that. We don't see Libby's mom as much. And I don't know. I have a weird suspicion. Okay. Here I am. I hope all is well with you guys. And I really appreciate, your comments here. Are you liking the video? You know, that kind of thing. As well as if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribing. Of course, all of your comments, though, are just so lovely and nice. And I really appreciate any engagement, truly, and your presence. Thank you to my mods and my super chatters. Yes, thank you so much. This little super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Love you, baby bills. That's a family of grifters. Lisa, thank you so much, Marie. You're the best always. And I really, really appreciate you. Lisa, you made me LOL so much thinking about like your con artist comment for Andre. It is a family of con artists. I just think it's so funny that you think he's the top. Because you don't trust what happened in Moldova. I feel that. I just think that, you know what? I just like his personality more than all of them. So that's why I'm like, still would be Team Andre. I just hate to be team one of them. So I guess that's where I stand. I'm team that baby. That huge four-headed baby. I don't know. Is that baby being raised with all her cousins? And are they just like watching their aunts squat in corners? Take horrible lingerie photos with sickle feet? Will I ever get over that? No. Okay, here we are at the end of this. I love you all so much. I want you to have truly a great week. If you don't know my social media stats, I'm at Chris L. Fair on all social media platforms, Clubhouse, Twitter. I'm really on, I forgot about Clubhouse, Twitter, Instagram. You can, of course, go to my private Facebook group, and that's Vanity Farah on Facebook, where I always post before I go live, and other things throughout the week, and other people post fun things, which is great. So it's not all on me. And yeah, other than that, yeah, I just really appreciate you guys. I love you very much. And I keep saying that, but it's very true. And it brings me a lot of warmth just to like see the same names. I mean, just like this like community I get to see like once a week. It's so crazy. I'll never get over it. Okay, I'm done. OC is gorgeous. A square-headed baby just looks like him. Okay, so that's what I have to say. So this is what it is. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stand up for what you believe and make art and have a beautiful week and share some light, share some more. People need it. Stare into each other's eyes just like Kalani Nasuelu until you see each other's souls and your emotions. To everyone you meet. Okay. Bye.